Warning. It is the opinion of the 4th Street Productions, LLC, and the Working Perspectives podcast that we should inform you that some of the language used in this recording could possibly be considered offensive. You have been warned, so if you decide to listen to the recording, then don't complain about the language.
She stayed up talking to her 12-year-old son till 4 o'clock in the morning. That is a fate worse than death.
Whoa.
I haven't been 12 in a while. My son's only 6, but when he's 12, he's gonna be irritating after 25 minutes. What could a 12-year-old possibly have to say to keep you enraptured in a conversation? I wanted to check and see if my husband was still alive. But my 12-year-old was just dropping all these truth bombs, and I couldn't pull myself away from the kitchen table. No, mom's on meth. Mom did the meth. Mom had the meth. Mom meth, or the other 3 people at the table.
All right, hello and welcome to the Working Perspectives podcast. On this show, we're going to be bringing you topics from around the globe. The topics are going to fall under 3 different categories. The categories are Stupid Is as Stupid Does, Incredibly Incredible, and Sports and Speds. I'm joined today by the man voted N-Dub's most dangerous, the one and only Steve Cabot, the superior single dad himself, Mr. Liam Reese, and the one and only dependable felon, the bad boy, Benoit Podcasy, Bern Podcasy. Bern, how are we, my man?
Wow, that's a blast from the past, felon shout out. It's funny, I pulled a Philly Sketchfest 2009 t-shirt out of my dresser yesterday and wore it. And first time I thought about the felons in a while, so that's kind of weird. You threw that right back out there.
You know, we're linked not only, with our hearts, but with our minds. Very nice. Lashmoosh, how are you?
I am great, man. Back from vacation, Squire season started. I'm refreshed.
Nice.
Let's go!
Yep, nice. Best time of year.
Nice, man. Look, we missed you last week. We're happy to have you back. We had some J.O. in for you, and it was just a nightmare.
I saw he did awesome.
Yeah. Strong Stem Steve Cabot, how are you, sir?
Much better that J-Dub's not here and Liam's back, but also very impressed with your new intro, Matt. We inspired you to switch it up and get creative. Hell yeah, my guy.
Yeah, man. I got to keep up with you guys.
Loved it, brother. Loved it.
I love this new intro every week thing, man. It's a great idea. So, all right. Well, this is the Working Perspectives podcast. Let's get this thing started. Let's go.
It's all objective to be effective by voicing societies. Working perspective, exploring your day and how you get paid. Launching a new episode every Tuesday. Your day can transform while we inform with new episodes available on every platform. So check out our vibe and how we get live. Then do us a solid. Share and subscribe. Would you share it? Would you share it? Would you share it? Working Perspectives.
All right. So like we said on this show, we're going to be bringing you topics from around the globe. The topics are going to fall under 3 different categories. Categories are Stupid Is as Stupid Does, Incredibly Incredible, and Sports and Speds. Lashmish, we're going to start with you, my man. What do you got for Stupid Is as Stupid Does?
So, going to Middletown, Indiana. A Google Maps driver led police on a 100-mile-per-hour plus chase. So have you ever seen those Google cars they have that, it's got the 360 cameras on top of it? Well, one of those mapping cars led authorities on a high-speed chase through multiple counties, reaching speeds over 100 miles per hour before crashing into a creek in Madison County, according to Middletown, Indiana police. Yeah. So the driver was identified as Coleman Ferguson. And do you want to know how they identified him?
Yeah.
Because they pulled out of his pocket a Florida driver's license.
Hell Representing.
They saw him like on the interstate, weaving in and out of traffic and stuff, and he like refused to stop. So they chase him like through all the counties and everything. And like finally, like I said, he crashes out into the creek and everything. They find out, he's another Florida man. Mm-hmm. When they asked him, he said, like he was scared to stop. He had like high anxiety and everything. So, you could take the man out of Florida, but you cannot take the Florida out of the man. Dude. He's looking at a level 6 felony for resisting law enforcement with a vehicle.
Wow. Yeah, an hour police chase is not, that's no joke. Yeah. So many great things about this. First of all, you are in the most conspicuous car of all time. Like you have a scaffolding on the top of your car. You're not going to lose anybody, and you're really limited by bridges and like small overpasses as far as where you can go. What I think is interesting is, was that shit recording the whole time? Because I want to see a police chase from like the view of like someone sitting on top of a car. Mm-hmm. That might be super dope.
Yeah, agreed. I think that'd be incredible. I love it. I mean, shout out to this guy. I would really love to know like what he was actually hiding, because he definitely ditched something out of the car on that hour chase when they weren't looking. But my gosh, I would. Yeah.
And also, I'm going to give I'm not a big fan of it, but for once, a small shout out to Google, because I deal with a bunch of cars in my life, and 90% of very large corporations put a 75 mile an hour limiter on all their personal vehicles or fleet vehicles, right? Because they know that the fastest speed limit, like in the interstate, would be 75. So they give it, and they make sure it can only go to that. So you can put your foot down all you want.
Wow.
It doesn't go over it. Google said, let's get busy and get that package there quick. What is this, Amazon? Jesus Christ.
Dude, I didn't know that. That's a thing where like a company car,
you can limit it,
doctor it up, and wow. Mm-hmm. I had no idea. Dude, that would drive me up the wall.
As a driver, you'll see things on the back of like, you ever heard of a Sprinter? Like those little minivan looking things nowadays. It's like half a van. And it'll say on the back, governed to 75. Like it lets you know, like, if you need to pass me, go around me, dog. Like I can hit the gas all I want.
I can't.
U-Hauls are like that. U-Hauls, if you've ever been in the U-Haul and driven excessively fast, U-Hauls will usually top you out at like 90. In a big U-Haul, all of a sudden the pedal will just start hitting the ground. And trust me, the V8 in that truck will go faster than that. But all of a sudden there's no worky of the pedal, and then it like kicks back in and you have like resistance. Then it goes flaccid again, and I can just whip the pedal up and down, and then resistance comes back. Yeah.
I was on the highway in a big U-Haul, and like the pedal would just leave my foot and just tap the floor. And I was like, what in the world is happening here? Like, because I'm hauling, and it's a way bigger car than I usually drive. So I'm trying to be safe, but also I'm not trying to be slow. Yeah. And every once in a while, it would just leave my foot and I'd hear tap the ground, like tap the floor and come back up. And I had no idea that's what it was. I thought I just had a lousy truck.
Yeah. Dude, that would be the worst.
Like, yes, Google. Yes, Google. Because if I work for Google, let me make my own decisions. You know what I mean?
Right.
What does Jocko call this? Decentralized command. Let me make my own decision.
Dude, it makes me want to take one of the vehicles from work, like one of the trucks,
and see what it does.
Yeah. I bet a big company. I don't want to say your company, but I bet a big major company like that would do that for sure. That is. I had no idea, dude. I'll tell you, I went over 75 this morning on the way to work. Like, not
on your bike.
Yeah, on my butt. I wish. But
no helmet through a red light.
I will never not wear a helmet again after the incident that
Evil Knievel's instance.
After that car that hit me for insurance purposes.
When Matt thought he was gonna be a stunt double in LA for 10 minutes, he was like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's figure it out.
Let's get it. Nope.
Let's get it. Hell yeah.
I thought I was Travis Pastrana for a second, and I was Travis.
You were just Travis Pastrami.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Jesus.
Well, shout out to the sponsor of the show, fan of the show, listener of the show. Shout out Florida. Love you.
We can't quit you again. We just can't quit you.
We can't. I mean, the show can't exist without Florida, babe.
I don't
Florida's
think so.
being Florida. All right, guys, real good stuff. Let's keep it moving. Steve, what do you got for stupid is as stupid does?
Remy Enigma. or as this person's called on social medias, is a giant he's a French daredevil, and he died after falling off a residential skyscraper in Hong Kong. Remy Lucidi, 30, French feller, was spotted on security camera leaving an elevator after he told the security guard that he was meeting his buddy on the 40th floor, getting off the elevator at the 49th floor. Got off the 49th floor and then again was seen on closed caption television jumping out or busting the door down and getting out to the roof, right? Moments later, what do they find him? Banging on the window of a 68th floor penthouse by a maid. And he was apparently pleading with her to please get help. She, like a gangster, doesn't help him, calls 911. Calls 911, they took a half hour to get there. He shortly after that fell off and fell 68 stories to his death into a small pavilion next to this high rise with high priced apartments in it and died. Now, again, this is that guy that you see like on Instagram that gives you where he's been in Dubai, he's been in South Africa, he's been all over the world to climb these ridiculous towers and run around and take the little like with the selfie stick. He's on top of like, the highest crane you could find on top of a building. Yeah. So, I mean,
dude, I'll tell you, Steve, that is wild. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of heights. I don't know about you guys. I don't love them, but I don't know. I went into a lighthouse like a month or so ago and went to
Barney?
Yeah.
Barney?
Barnegat Lighthouse. And I went to the top of Barnegat Lighthouse, right? And up there you like go and it's like, steel bars are surrounded. There's no way you can fall out, right? But still I was up there like, damn, this is high and it's a little scary. You know what I mean?
And you're on the coast, the wind is whipping through those bars. It is whipping
cranking.
Up there.
So no, I can see like but that's what that one was like 200 something feet up, right? This guy was 60 something stories. I couldn't imagine.
I might misquote this, but I'm pretty sure they said it was 723 feet where he fell from.
I think a story is 12 feet. I think a story is generally like right around 12 feet.
Yeah.
So,
a little over 10.
You're right. Yeah, I think you're right.
So that'd be it'd be like 7. I mean, and like when you say you're up in that height and you're like, it was kind of scary. Like your brain wasn't scared, but your body was doing things where you're like, oh, my body's trying to tell me something here. My legs are mad. My arms are mad. My neck's really cold. Like it's sending me the signals like, you shouldn't be here. It's a stupid place for you to be. You should be elsewhere.
Well, it's like, remember you used to be able to see like the divots. Like, so like if you go to, like Statue of Liberty or Empire State Building where there's like, people don't do it anymore because they keep like a closer, like, you know what I mean? They're like tighter about it now. But if you drop like a penny from there, you can see it. There's like divots in the concrete from people dropping shit. That's how like much force there is just from dropping something as light as a penny. It's
really?
Wild. Yeah.
It divots the ground?
The concrete, dude. Yeah, dude. It's nuts.
What? Wow. Man, I knew it came down fast, but I didn't know it came down fast enough to go through concrete. Holy smoke.
Well, gravity increases exponentially.
Yeah.
Too. Like super aerodynamic. Yeah. A penny, like there's nothing. Mm-hmm. It's gonna find its like, side, and then it's lethal.
I mean, crazy. Dude, so wait, and the maid saw him like begging for his life. Just like,
dog, how about the gangster maid that was like, hold on, I'll get help. 911? No. Open the window. I was like, bitch, open the window.
I mean, can she though? Like,
I have no idea. I'm just making it up.
I don't know.
Maybe not.
Like, I don't even know if they can open windows that
high.
Hey,
lady. Next to me, throw a chair through the window and I'll climb and cut myself through the hole. Do something.
Yeah, pull your gun out and shoot a damn hole. Yeah.
Go back in time and call this lawyer from Minnesota. All right. We need him to come and punch this whole frame right out of the building so I can get in.
Great callback, Bern. Great callback. Dude, I think this happened before too. Do you remember? I think it was like a TikTok or Instagram guy where he would climb to the very top of like a spire on a building and hang from there and do like pull-ups or a dead hang, and then eventually like he just lost, like his arms gave out and he couldn't hold and fell. That is nuts.
Psychotic, dude. That's so crazy, man.
Nuts, man. Dude,
think about how many dead people there are on TikTok with like 7 views because the first time they tried to do it, they just fell off the cliff.
Yeah.
I just don't get it, because if you want that adrenaline rush, why wouldn't you like go skydiving, do like bungee jumping or something, like something where there's like, you know, a device for
where
like saving your life if you want to be at those heights and stuff. You know, it just seems crazy.
It's still risky and adrenaline inducing, but there's at least some measure of, you know,
control
thought put into it.
Yeah, safety, insurance.
Hey, Remy Enigma, come ride a 4-wheeler in the goddamn or on the beach with me and see if that does it for you. Because at least there's smaller consequences. If some shit goes sideways, it's not eviscerating into the concrete from 700 feet in the air.
Remy, you won't be dust. All right, you won't be dust.
You won't be liquefied.
You won't be dust.
Could you imagine if you were walking on the street and you just saw all of a sudden this crimson hue in front of you, like a mist, like a shitty water balloon hit the ground and just a crimson mist? You were like, what was that? All of a sudden there's clothes in front of you because they're not going to disappear. Oh, you know, no body, just clothes.
Nope.
I could not.
It's like the first episode of The Boys, right?
Yeah. Wow. Also, Steve, great use of the word hue. Fantastic.
You like
Great
that?
use. I love it. All right. Let's keep this thing moving, though. That was some really good stuff. Let's keep it going. Lashmoosh, I'm going to go back to you. What do you got for incredibly incredible?
Incredibly incredible. A Florida restaurant is being forced to close their doors after 7 customers allege they tested positive for meth after eating there. So what they're saying is happening is, according to Sheriff's Office report, 2 groups. One is a family of 4, another group of 3. They all sat together at the hibachi table around 7 or 8 on June 9th. The chef cooked them a meal. They ate the meal. Both groups went home. The mother of the family told deputies that she was part of a 6-hour conversation with her son and daughter until 4:30 a.m.
My gosh.
She said repeatedly that she wanted to step away to check on the father, but could not pull away from their talk. She also said that her son was up until 7 a.m. and began to clean his room. She said her son mentioned that he was tired but couldn't sleep, and that his jaw hurt, and he was excessively chewing his lips.
Damn right.
We all know what that is.
Sounds like meth to me. Did you say hibachi?
Yep, a Japanese hibachi. It's called the Nico. The Nico Japanese Steakhouse in Pace, Florida, which is about 15 miles north of Pensacola.
Someone just flipping meth in your mouth, like, oh, I got it. It's a shrimp. No, it's not.
I would love if it was like the son accidentally spilled meth on the thing, and then his parents like, I think this restaurant gave us meth, and he was like, yeah, it was definitely the restaurant. Wasn't me, Mom. It had to be the restaurant, so let's sue him. Yeah, let's ruin this lady's life.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm buying it, because the restaurant is claiming they had known nothing about it. They were in business for 10 years before that. They were cleared by they came in, health inspectors came in, checked them out and everything, authorities. They found no evidence that there was like meth in the kitchens or like anybody, you know. So I'm thinking you're right. I'm thinking it was maybe
somebody spiked the fried rice.
Yeah, they only got a hold of the family. I'm thinking it was part of the other 3, because these people at the Nico Japanese Steakhouse are saying they had nothing to do with it, but they still had to close because it gave them like such a bad reputation that even when they reopened after the inspection, they still just like couldn't get people to come because they were like all these local news stories and stuff. Yeah, but it's just pretty crazy.
Unbelievable.
Listen, I 100% side with the family and them claiming that the restaurant claiming that this is a family of crackheads is trying to put it on me. We did not do this. This is the worst excuse. Like, this is the most admissible shit I've ever seen in court. You can't. You to bring this up to judge and be like, get out. Get out. You got it at the hibachi, right? Everybody just got it at the hibachi. Sure. No one's got teeth. Everyone's missing a front tooth. But we got it at hibachi. Nah, get out of my courtroom.
Well, the son was only 12.
Ah, shit.
Oh no!
Yeah. Well, now someone should go to jail. Yeah. 12.
Okay, well, maybe it wasn't the son.
Circumstances changed.
That mom is doing math.
Oh yeah.
It is Florida.
Circumstances
guys.
had changed.
Yeah, it
so
is
she
Florida.
stayed up talking to her 12-year-old son till 4 o'clock in the morning. That is a fate worse than death.
Whoa.
I haven't been 12 in a while. My son's only 6, but when he's 12, he's gonna be irritating after 25 minutes.
You see him
gonna
every
start getting
day.
on my nerves and being a dick. Like, what could a 12-year-old possibly have to say to keep you enraptured in a conversation? Like, I wanted to check and see if my husband was still alive. But my 12-year-old was just dropping all these truth bombs, and I couldn't pull myself away from the kitchen table. Like, no, mom's on meth. Mom did the meth. Mom had the meth. Mom meth, or the other the other 3 people at the table. But I don't know, could you slide a meth rocks across a hibachi girl and people get meth high? I don't know, right?
It's Himalayan sea salt, she told them.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah,
very possibly. But I feel like if the meth is already cooking, and people don't eat meth, you know what I mean? You shoot it, you smoke it. You don't eat it
unless you need to.
But I mean,
here's the deal, though. The daughter was 18. So the daughter is around the age of maybe somebody that would be doing that kind of thing.
And you said this was in the state of, which state was that again, Liam?
But it's shockingly enough, Florida.
Our favorite.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. You don't say. Good old Florida.
Wow.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you again, Florida, for being Florida.
Our favorite.
Just the best.
Don't ever change. Please don't ever change.
Yeah. Florida, don't go changing. Nice. Love it. I mean, hopefully this restaurant's still in business, because that'd be pretty awful if
they're not.
Oh,
They were forced to close for forever.
No.
Yeah. They shut down for good.
The odds of the hibachi chef with the meth is less than 1%.
Right. All because of some 18-year-old girl wanted to hide that she's doing meth from her parents.
But didn't say anything about the other 3 people. I say the jury's still out on the other 3. I want to know who those other 3 people are.
Oh, that's
right. Not the family, you know?
That's the grassy knoll. That's the grassy knoll.
I disagree. I disagree. I think it hangs on one question and one question alone. Are they from Florida or are they visitors? And then I will tell you your answer. If those are other Floridians, they're in on the game. If it's someone out of town, more there, I'm on the other side.
Right. If it's Florida, if it's true Floridians, obviously.
Yeah. You in on it. There's no,
no question.
Don't give me this. I don't know them. You got no teeth. No. Stop it.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Real good stuff. Great story, Liam. Strong Sam, we're going to you. What do you got for incredibly incredible?
So I got a LA truck. This might be the most incredibly incredible shit I've ever seen.
Love it.
I got an LA truck driver known as Tank. They didn't disclose his full name. And he's speaking out about his life with diphophilia, which is a rare genital abnormality in which the male is born with a double dong. Oh. It affects less than 1,000 men in the U.S., and he stated that his uncle had twin hammers and his father had only one fuck stick, but he, quote unquote, huge balls like a bull.
Oh my.
He said, obviously, this guy's even more wild. He went to jail at 12 for a manslaughter case, got out at 24, was a virgin, right? Had the double dick in jail. Gets out, says that if he pleasures one, both jizz, right? This is wild, right? No matter what, right? Both jizz. And he said
oh my God.
It was how he would get girls to meet him, because he would talk to them about, I have a double dong. They're like, no way. He's like, let's go check it out, right? Blah, blah, blah. And this guy is not a good looking man, right? But he ends up fucking this one girl who was a super freak, and said that she could not go back to normal sex after being double donged by him all the time. So she ended up having to only be able to do threesomes with 2 guys anymore. She needs DP all day because she's so used to double dong Donnie over here, laying her with the 2 dick pipe. So
was it always docking in the same port, or was it a double port dock?
He's double porting. Everybody's going in the garage at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a two-car garage. Everybody's parked inside. Here's where it gets sad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the one and only Superman Dick cut one of them off. Said it was so uncomfortable and just weird. He had the surgery to remove one of the dongs, and now our man Tank is back to a single dong human. So that's a sad ending to the story, but man was born with a rare disease where he has two dongs.
R.I.P. I mean, is it?
R.I.P. to his dong.
Could you imagine if your dad had two dicks and then your son had two dicks and you're just standing there with one dick? Being like, what the fuck is that?
And he said his uncle had two dicks. He had two dicks, and his dad had the biggest balls you've ever seen. He said they were like literally cow balls that he had to like scoop up into his straws.
Wait, hold on. Where did you read this news story? This was like CNN headlines, or like?
It was New York. It was in the one I saw was on page 6 in New York. So it was on the New York.
Really, that's
Daily
wild.
News. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Post is page 6. The Post.
Yeah, the Post. You're right. Probably the Post. I guess I don't know. It's on the page 6 up there. How ridiculous is this?
If the Post is running it, then
it's got to be real.
Yeah, it's the most trusted news source in America. Is the Post.
But there was some YouTube.
It's not, but the Post is not going to lie to you about a double dong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would hope. I would hope that
to report this story.
I would hope that no one would lie to me about a double dong, Bern.
Yeah,
nobody.
Yeah,
all right,
that's fair.
This is America. We tell the truth about the double dong.
What if one of them felt like a dick and the other one you just couldn't feel? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a nightmare. You're
hooking up with a girl, and things are going well, and you're like, that's the wrong one. You're on the wrong one.
You grab Sleepy. I want you to grab Dopey.
Yeah. I need you to grab Happy.
What a mouthful. What a mouthful for whatever girl, you know.
God bless. God bless her heart, whoever she is.
Obviously, the page 6 didn't go this deep, and neither did I. But now here goes my fucked up mind. Do we piss out of both of them? Like, do I aim in 2 urinals and hold them out to each side, stand in the gap in the middle, and just piss to both? How dope would that be, dog?
Because if your whole urethra and urinary tract were separated into 2, you'd need like an extra kidney. Like, there'd have to be way more weird stuff going on in there to make them. I think one is a hood ornament and one is the real deal. But what a great hood ornament! You know what I mean? Like, what makes my dick look cool?
Yeah,
my other dick.
Yeah.
If there was a Y in the road further down in the piping, not so much in the production, but further down in the piping?
What if it was What if there was
a single station?
What if it was a single shaft? And
I guess you're right. There's got to be if they both bust, then the path. Right. You're right. It's got to be internal. Right. It's damn.
Yeah.
You're about to have 13 beers on Sunday afternoon this week, and then you got to go to the Graham's bathroom and be like, I got to wrangle both of these without getting anything on my shoes. Like,
baby,
that is a bird.
That's totally. How do you figure out which one to get rid of too? You know, like, how do you pick that? How could it's like getting rid of a kid? You know,
the smaller one goes. Yeah, there's no question. You keep even if it's the dead one. Even if it's the dead one, you keep the bigger one. Doesn't matter.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, there's a very decisive way we're gonna figure this out.
We know.
Let's put them next to each other. You're going. Sorry, bud.
All right,
keeping the chubbiest.
I love it. Let's keep it moving though, guys. Let's get into sports and speds. Steve, I'm going to come back to you after a roaring incredibly incredible. What do you have for sports and speds?
Man, this is just wild. So LeBron James, does China's little favorite son. He loves to spread money all over the place, right? You're not going to hate on him for that. He's a great guy when it comes to that stuff. Built schools in Akron, Ohio, and it's called the Promised Land. It's like for underachieving youth and troubled youth and people with wild past. It's like a help school, right? That he completely funds and does this for the people of the
nice.
Poor neighborhood. So shout out, right?
Yeah.
The only problem
it's a charter school.
Charter funded by solely by one guy.
Well, solely by LeBron.
They're not doing so hot. We're not getting the next, I don't know, Galileo out of this school. The third grade at this point, they put out a stat that no 8th grader has been proficient in math in the last 4 years at this school, right? So they broke down a couple stats real quick, and it's again, he just funds it, and it's part of the public school in Akron. So the public school board of Akron, Ohio is supposed to take care of this. This is their issue.
Even charter
third
schools
grade
still get federal funding and still have oversight from the state that's supposed to make
somebody
sure it
needs to catch
school.
this.
Yeah.
So just this year alone, they have 3rd through 7th, and just a couple stats real quick. So 3rd grade for proficiency in English, 6.6%, and 11% in math. 4th grade, 5.9% in English, 9.9% in math. 5th grade, 7.1% English, 1% in math. 6th grade, 3.1% in English, 0.0 in math. 7th grade, 8.2 in English, and 1.0 in math. I mean, is there no teachers? Is this like a babysit? I'm okay with that. Are they just like, is this a sports factory? Maybe he's like taking athletes and getting them in there, and they're not learning nothing. They're like running 40s. He's got basketball nets in there. People are dunking. They just make it look like a school. I mean, how could you not a single one out of the 4 grades, 1% out of 8% went over 10 with 11% for the 3rd graders in math. Everybody else was sub single digit. We low grade. Dog.
I mean, it sounds like the 7th grade teacher is working their ass off because all those numbers were plummeting. Like it was a 0.0 in 6th grade, and 7th grade got math up to like 1.5. Sounds
1%. Yeah.
Sounds like the 7th grade teacher should be like probably like a college level professor.
Yeah.
They're an excellent teacher. They pull this up. Listen, this is always the debate about charter schools because they get a little bit of government funding and they still have to follow some standard of like judging whether your kid can, go to high school. Like if they don't know anything, they're supposed to repeat the 8th grade. It's easy in public schools. Private schools monitor their own thing. Charter schools are this weird kind of like, and like they could be great. But most of the time people start one and do a grand opening and it's a real great thing. And then 10 years later, they're like, so no one's going to college, but everyone's feelings are really well developed. So that's cool, but
and we're going to shoot for Burger King and hopefully,
they're not very efficient. Traditionally.
What's their, how many state championships have they won?
No, not enough because anybody who's good, LeBron moves out to California. He's like, you should go to
math. There's a gym in the math room, like just weights, dudes are squatting.
Yeah. They all can count proficiently by multiples of 45.
That's awesome.
And again, as much as I, he's doing a good thing. And it's not on LeBron, even though I don't like LeBron. It's not on LeBron because he's doing a good thing. Do better, Akron, Ohio, whatever the public funded board of morons in Akron, Ohio, that are letting this. You have one of the richest men in America to fund whatever you need. And this is what you produce? Yo, what are you paying the teachers? Like literally, what are they doing? Give them like $100 a day?
Oh,
you can pay these guys. You should get paid 150 racks if you're at LeBron's, elementary school. Does the numbers?
I'd hope so. Usually the charter schools do get better pay and benefits. But you do know that like Catholic school teachers, it was almost lower pay sometimes than it was for like the public school, which is always. Yep. And they didn't have better benefits or like none of that.
My mom still works in the office of a Catholic school. She works in the building where I went to high school, which is now like the kindergarten through 5th, like school of there. They don't make anything, man. And she's 70 years old and her legs don't work. And she's only there just to keep her insurance. And they could care less because they spent all their money moving priests to, South Dakota. The money's limitless, but not for my mom who's been working there for 35 years and her legs aren't working and she's dragging her ass in every day just to keep her insurance. Like no time for that. But,
God no. God
Catholic schools don't.
You
don't do it for the money. You do it because you're guilty.
All right, real good stuff, guys. Let's keep it moving. Le Schmooze, gonna go to you. What do you got for sports and spades?
So this weekend, after the main event, UFC 291, Jorge Masvidal admitted that he lost $100,000 on that fight, and he handed over like that BMF belt, to Gaethje. And what I want to know is, like, other sports, like, you definitely can't, like, put money down on your sport. You definitely not if you're like there watching it or something, participate. I know his contract is over though, right? Masvidal?
Yes. Yeah.
He's done it. But still, like, I would think if you're a professional fighter, you can't really like put money down on other fights, but like the way other sports do. My question is, do you think it would be like, how hard do you think it would be to fix some of these bouts that you can put down on? Because you can pretty much throw down on the whole card, like the prelims, everything.
Yeah.
So how hard do you think it would be just to throw a fight in the beginning?
If you look at other fighting sports, aka boxing, you would say it's not hard. But that is also because there's so many governing bodies of boxing, right? Like, there's way too many governing bodies in the boxing world. It's broken down by state. Like, there's the national, then there's the state-run ones, and even some even have multiple state-run organizations for boxing when you fight. It's brutal. But for UFC, they do a great job of, like, there's one guy, you know what I mean? Like, so you would have to get to the fighter itself. But they do a good job of, I would say they do a good job. I mean, the only time I think it's been a blown call on a fight, the only one I can think of off the top of my head would have been that Shogun versus Machida fight and this was years ago.
Oh, wow.
Where Shogun he won that fight, right? And they gave it to Machida. And I even think Dana White even said, like, I'm not handing him this belt because that's a terrible call. You know what I mean? So I don't think it is. The possibility is 1,000,000% there, Liam, if we look at the past with boxing and everything like that. But I don't know. It's just, I really don't. If it has taken place, it's tough to notice, because I think it is tough. Like, I don't know. It is possible, but
because how hard would it be to just like tap on purpose and have like your buddy put all the money in the world down against you or something? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Let him take you down, get in the hold. Oh yeah, and they wouldn't dispute it. Go ahead, Bern.
So here's the thing, and this is what always comes down to, like, when athletes gamble in sports, right? It's got to be the perfect situation, right? So, like, in UFC, for example, if you're on the top of the card, you're making enough money where you don't need to take a bribe. You know what I mean? To take a fall. So, like, who's the guy who's right in the middle, who's making enough that it's worth it, but not enough and he doesn't know if he's going to win either. Yeah. So take some guaranteed cash, perhaps. And then you got to find a number that's semi-close, because Las Vegas, I mean, this is all of gambling in America was built by really talented mobsters. Mm-hmm. And so, like, so there's so many factors that have to come in. It's like if you were to fix a baseball game, who would you pay? Right? Like, anybody off the top of your head, right? I'd pay the catcher.
Oh, really?
Because he's calling it. He's calling it. You drop all of a sudden you get a wild pitch, drop a couple balls. If you're trying to fix a football game, you know who I
quarterback,
pick? Long snapper.
Whoa!
That guy makes like the least amount of money on the team.
Yeah.
Right? And all he has to do is just fuck up one or two punts.
Yeah.
And like, that's usually the difference in an NFL game is one or two turnovers. Yeah. So you got to find that vulnerable position on the card of, like, who is in that spot, and also the money is not going to be. He's not a plus 750, because that's going to get everybody's cockles up. You know what I mean? Like, I think that people who make the lines are so much smarter than the public, and have been the whole time, and will be. Yeah. And if you want to get away with that, man, you got to be kind of perfect at it.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen on all the documentaries, somewhere down the line, somebody like drops the ball, and
if 3 people are involved, you're screwed.
Yeah,
you know, like somebody's gonna get pinched or get pressured or just get drunk and talk to their buddies, which is what happens a lot of the time.
Yeah, isn't that what happened with the guy, the Philly guy that the basketball ref?
Donaghy?
Yeah, dude, I couldn't agree. I mean, the possibility is 100% there, but Bern, you're right. Like, yeah, Poirier and Gaethje are making too much money to even like consider that, and I don't know.
And at this point, Liam's talking about how he cleaned up this weekend. Like, now that internet gambling is legal all over the place, that's just that many more watchdogs.
Yeah,
like the people. I've heard a ton of stories about people who just go on a hot one on DraftKings or FanDuel, like hit a couple home runs, and they get frozen for a couple days.
Yeah.
Because what no one realizes is that the rule for any gambling site or the rule for any casino, which is why they always win, is that they can go, nope, we're not going to pay you.
Yeah.
We think you cheated and we're not going to pay you. And there is literally dick you can do about it.
Yeah. How about
I would be so mad if that happened.
Oh,
like
who
finally go on like a tear and like
go on a tear, right?
And hit big, and then they just tell you no.
Dude, I mean, the craziest thing too is like if you look at the odds makers in football, like that's a perfect example. Like when they go over the lines, that to me, it blows my mind how accurate they are. Like even like if it's like a missed freaking field goal different, but it's different.
Totals for me. They're like 56.5 and it ends at 55 or 58. And you're like, depending on which site, it was like just right there.
Yeah. Every major bettor will never ever tell you to bet on mixed martial arts. Boxing, yes, but mixed martial arts, there's so many ways you can lose. I can break my own leg on your leg. I can fall down and get choked out, even though I was beating that guy. There's just a terrible way to bet, right? Yeah. Here's two kind of big topics. One, in the UFC, they give you a win bonus. So if I'm big enough, say I have a fight and I'm like on the main card, but I'm not a headliner, right? So I'm getting like maybe $100,000. If I win, I get $200,000. They double your pay if you win, which is a ridiculous premise, right? Because again, the win bonus, are you incentivizing me to not go in there and try my best, which is wild, right? So, but hold on. Here's the other thing. You're assuming with UFC specifically to be fixed that the other guy is in on it too, because there's no when he doesn't know that I'm going to take the fight, there's no him not head kicking me or doing some wild shit. So I can still be absolutely separated from my consciousness and have my life changed, literally have my life changed. So you have to have both guys involved for him to lightly beat me in like a submission, apparently. If it was, it's absolutely, the number is so small for it to happen in that sport.
And that means you're screwed.
At a high level. So when you get to a main card, this is your big thing. The second you lose and you're not the co-line or the co-main event or the main event, you're not making big bread. And even co-main event guys, they only make like $400,000 or $500,000. The head guys, you're making a couple mil, right? You get 2-3 mil. A big boxing fight, they're getting 30 mil, 20 mil, right? For the biggest UFC guys, even Conor, Conor would make like 10, 20. They don't make boxing money. They don't make that crazy. So, but in the lower level of boxing, they make way, way less. And like the UFC guys get a little bit, but still, if you're a guy that's going in there on an undercard of a main big card, you're going to get 30 if you win, right? 60 grand. You train 3 months. You got to pay your trainers. You got to pay your gym fees. You got to pay your strength trainer, your health guy.
Dude, you don't get shit.
How crazy is it? How crazy is that there's a win bonus? This is what they don't have a union that complain about. Is there any incentive for me to not go out there and try to not get separated from my consciousness by your shin bouncing off my forehead? No, there's no incentive. You can tell me.
Yeah.
You go out there and you're like minus 130 or minus 135. Like you're not a huge favorite, but you're a little bit like that's who takes the dive, right? You're minus 135. Yeah. It can't look insane. It's got to look close. But also, if you're minus 135, the other guy's probably like plus 180. And that's when you take the dive for everyone to bet against you. But still, man, I mean, the mob is pretty smart, and they set this whole thing up pretty smart about 60 years ago, and that's how numbers are run in the United States.
When there was no cameras,
and now there's 1 billion. So if you're gonna try to make that move, you better sell it. You better be a perfect scenario.
No, the best part of this story was that Masvidal told TNT Sports after he lost the 100K that, sorry, kids, you're going to have to go to public school now.
I love Masvidal. I love
Turkey.
Masvidal. Yeah, I mean, Liam, I will say this: when I got offered my contract for a professional boxing fight, I would have had I won, it was gonna be like I think it was 1,300 for the winner. Yeah, and that's that's nothing, dude. It's nothing. Like I think I would have walked. I probably would have walked with like 500 out of the 13.
Yeah, does it come with like benefits and stuff? You get
there's no knockout. There's no There's like the winner gets a little more, but there's no winner's purse like there used to be. There used to be winner's purse, but the winner gets a little more. But it's both guaranteed shit.
And can you imagine the promoter looking at you going, "Here's $1,300. I can't guarantee you healthcare or a pension, but I will give you a 95% chance of brain damage and maybe pooping your pants later." And you're like, hell yeah, let me get that, yo. Let me get
Dude, and there's been times at Grams where I would have made been nights at Grams where I've
you can make that. Yeah.
Like also, if this guy kills you, you get the loser's pay. That's $700, and also you're dead. That's not even going to pay for your funeral suit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's not even
unbelievable.
So, all right.
Cover the dubs.
It's going to be great, though. It's going to be great. Trust me. It's going to be great. Sign right here, cuz. I'm the bull.
Totally
it's going to be great.
It.
Doesn't that sound fun?
Yeah. Yeah. You're going to be on TV. No, you're
going to be the next Mike Tyson. I'm like, I don't feel like Mike Tyson. He's like, you look like him. I'm like,
also, the guy you're fighting is 30-0, and he's won 2 world titles. So you got a great shot. We are at the top of time, guys. Let's make this quick. Before we get out of here, Lishmoosh, what do you got before we roll?
Just everybody take it easy. You know what I mean? Cut each other some slack. Everybody's so wound up anymore, I swear.
Always.
Everybody's always butting heads, arguing hard, man.
Head button heads. Love it. Nice. Strong Sam, what do you got before we rowdy?
He got his boy's shirt on. You need your house cleaned or something sprayed down nice. Hit up North Penn Pressure Washing. Kevin Zeblin.
Yeah.
Email him, do whatever you got to do. He's got all that social stuff.
Yeah.
Hit him up.
He's a great follow on Instagram.
Don't tell him Steuben sent you. Do not tell him I sent you, because then he might.
You will not get a deal. No. Yeah. You will not get a deal. Very nice. Bern, what do you got before we get out of here?
I just wanted to throw out a little weird one, a little bonus, incredibly incredible. I was talking to a liquor rep today for Tito's vodka, right?
Uh-huh.
Tito's been around forever. I remember when it was like $8, for a fifth, but like 15 years ago, it was cheap. Do you know what the name of the founder of Tito's homemade vodka is?
Is it not Tito?
His nickname is Tito. His first name is Bert, B-E-R-T. His nickname's Tito. It's always been Tito. His last name is Beveridge. The man's name is Bert Beveridge. And he started
a tough liquor name.
Tito's vodka. Now, there's an I in there somewhere on the second half of Beveridge that maybe like churches it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I can't believe I've been dealing with reps. I've been ordering this vodka for bars, restaurants for almost 20 years. Why didn't you lead with this, Bert Beveridge created this vodka? I mean, what a great move. What a great name.
Yeah.
Tito Beveridge, also awesome. But this dude was born with the last name Beveridge. And then he decided to start a vodka company. And that's like if you name your kid Jeeves, guys, he might be a butler.
Yeah.
So just think about that. Just consider that.
Yeah. Wow. I'll tell you this. When Tito's hit it big, like let's say like 10 years ago is when they really started to make their come up.
2011.
Yeah, around that time. Yeah. And the reason I think they hit it big is because they were the first ones to put gluten-free on the bottle, which all vodka is gluten-free, FYI.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like 90% of vodka is gluten-free, but they
what hit them, dude. That's what hit them. That took them to the next level. Oh yeah, no one was ordering Tito's, dude.
Pimp out that person,
genius, right? Just like, it's gluten-free.
The first legal distillery in the state of Texas in 200 years. So like they hit that. like it was like no one drank vodka from America because that was gross. You went to Stoli or Smirnoff or Grey Goose or whatever.
Yeah.
But they did the gluten-free thing. It was cheap. And the dude who invented its name is Bert Beverage. And I'm just, that makes me happy.
It's Beverage, Bern.
It might be. There's an I in there somewhere that's weird. But
it's Beverage
all day long.
Either way, this man has given millions of teens across America alcohol poisoning at some point with his product.
Yeah. I don't know who's done it more, him or Uncle Vladdy. You know,
I was going to say, let's not forget about Uncle Vladdy here.
We've all been there with Uncle Vladdy, man.
Or all those bankers from that club.
The Bankers Club, pride of Scobeyville, New Jersey. So, all right. Well, speaking of Scobeyville, New Jersey, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied today by Strong Stem Steve Cabot, Lashmize, Liam Reese, and the bad boy Benoit Podcasy per Podcasy. In case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Yeah, also on Instagram, Working Perspectives Podcast, and join us on the Twitter and the TikTok at Working P Pod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com, and please like and subscribe so we keep bringing you the sweet content. Thanks for listening, and have a great weekend. Thanks. See you. All right, everyone listening, we are going to record Let's Get Retorted now. If you want to get a shout out on Let's Get Retorted, just leave a comment on our YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook, our Snapchat, our Twitter, whatever. Leave your comments there and we'll shout you out on Let's Get Retorted. So check that video on our YouTube channel. All right, thanks. See you.